And I thought, what about if you were going to assemble a fantasy drinking squad?
I thought the first one, you're going to have to like go in big with like the life of the party. Like who could you pick that you know will deliver?
Number one, right, this is my first lieutenant. He's the captain. The sensible one. The first person is going to be...
So we need like money bags, somebody that likes to sort of like declare the wealth, pay for everything. So I'm going to invite Beard Meets Food.
I knew it was coming to... Do you know what
bankroll
is? I just knew it was coming.
To bankroll it.
Right, now this next one is I'm not going to lie, is mostly to piss George off, right? But he's bringing some vibes equally. Yeah, it's your boy.
In my life, I've never smoked, but I've always remember having the best conversations in the smoking area. The only smoker that I could think of that would be good...
No, come on. If I'm on this night out, goes for a cigarette, you know what I'm doing? I'm booting the fire door closed in his face, right? So he can't get back in. I'm Adam.
And I'm Josh.
Yeah, we're back with the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep us down. Apart from, I don't know, maybe catastrophic financial losses. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right.
I was watching Rocky 4 or whatever one that is from the other night. So, yeah, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. This could be the third episode in a row that we've got a cheery beard. That was a recent comment that I saw floating around. I put it on the Instagram this weekend.
Been getting some good sleep lately, mate. I don't know why. Probably because I've just completely boycotted getting in the marital bed now for the last week. Oh, fucking Liz goes to bed, I don't even sneak in. I'm just like, nah, boom, straight in the second room. Yeah, fresh as a daisy. And it's late in the day as well today. It's like, what is it, 1, 2 o'clock?
1:30 we're at.
Mother flipper. Yeah, but I'm doing all right. It's nice and balmy in here, you know. I've got a slight. I'm peeling the testes away from my inside leg, but I'm all right.
We did warn you. So the studio is either absolutely freezing or boiling hot. There's never in between. So summer is upon us now. We've just had a weekend of sunshine. I was about to say you have a barbecue. You watered them, will you? You sit inside like a hermit.
I don't like barbecues. Really hate. Like, I mean, I like a barbecue, like well done actual barbecue food.
Yeah.
I don't like barbecues in the British kind of summertime outside barbecue sense, where you get your bird's eye fucking beef burgers and you get Stevie throwing his, when the wife beat her St. George's tattoo out, flipping the burgers on there, proving how much of a man he is and whatnot.
Have you met my uncle?
Yeah,
Uncle Stevie?
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't have a barbecue this week. I could smell it though, which was quite nice. You know, I could smell the waft of it.
We had 12 people over on Sunday for like the first one. I love a barbecue, mate. George came. I invited all my mates. George, Mike.
No, George is shit. You had me worried there for a second. I'd have probably still said no, but that's to know you wanted.
But yeah, we did have 12 other family members over. Everyone were in the back garden. Made some chicken thighs. Is like
really grill master.
Yeah, undefeated on the barbecue. You can't really fuck it up. You can't overcook a chicken thigh.
I'm like a hot dogs guy at barbecues. Hot dogs, those you can't fuck up.
I've never cooked a
hot dog, bun, mustard, ketchup, maybe a bit of mayonnaise for the freaks. I said mayonnaise, wasn't it? Mayonnaise. Kebabs.
Like chicken kebabs, peppers.
Like skewers.
Stuff like that.
I don't understand. This were chatting in one of the other group chats the other day. Like people order kebabs from a takeaway like on a Friday night, like before they're pissed. I don't like that's psychopath behaviour in my opinion.
Before they're pissed?
Yeah, like 8 o'clock.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna have a pint and a doner kebab.
It's a less kind of classy dish over here though, because like as soon as you start calling them, gyros or gyros
delicious,
or like donairs, they kind of seem a little bit more luxury, right? But I just
fucking shaved dog meat that's been on spit for 3 weeks.
Heck, God knows how long. Yeah, I don't really like those either. But I would never choose to eat a doner kebab if I didn't have to.
Yeah, no. So no kebabs on the barbecue this weekend. I had a trial run on Saturday where I did steak and some Wagyu burgers. Is that pronounced right, Mr. Adam? Is that right?
Yeah, Wagyu. I don't think there's any other way.
And then chicken thighs and sausages on Sunday with all the sides. Delightful, mate. Well, how did you spend your weekend in the sunshine? Not in the sunshine.
Mostly not in the sunshine. Can't you tell by my pallor? I didn't do anything. I don't even know what the heck. I was hungover on Saturday because I went out on Friday night.
How was that?
I felt like I was dying. It lasted a full day as well. I'm normally quite good at just telling myself when to stop.
Yeah.
But I could, for whatever reason, I was in the spirit of things. I was enjoying it and whatnot. And I just went a little too far and got really, really drunk. So just spent most of the weekend, I suppose, recovering from that and watching football, which was depressing, right? Because Man City just won the league. So, I mean, I didn't want to watch that whole...
Are Leeds United relegated now? Is that a thing?
Not officially, they can mathematically survive, depending on when you listen to this, but very probably.
By the time this goes out, they'll be relegated.
Yeah.
Georgie Boy did a gig this weekend. Had ladies swooning over him as he were like belting out some tunes on stage.
I'm sure he's a handsome lad. You've been embellishing some stories about poor George, though, so I think George is probably a professional. And
Not sure it's embellishing or just like damning.
yeah, people could listen to this already to book him, so careful.
If anybody wants to book Gorgeous George for some singing and shit.
He does a great Ed Sheeran.
We actually don't have a band name at the minute, and we're really struggling to come up with one. So if anybody in the comments wants to try and help.
It's edgy not having one. Just call yourself like brackets untitled. What about how many people are in the band?
3 of us.
What about Gorgeous George and the Reliable Two? Propose that at the next band meeting, see how it goes down.
Who's your band members? Is it the dude that we brought on the cheesecake? Amran, yeah. Amran.
He's a decent guitarist, isn't he?
He's a good,
I mean,
good guitarist.
I didn't need him to get through that solo. I took that myself.
And he's actually somebody that's smaller than Adam.
yeah, maybe like
Did he have a miniature guitar? Like what's going on?
You what?
Does he have like a miniature guitar, like a smaller guitar, like a 3/4?
He has a full size. If I was his size, I'd probably get the Les Paul Jr., the one that's like it's technically full size, but it's actually a bit smaller. Right. So I'd probably get one of those.
Who's on the tubs? See, I learnt that from when we had a band.
What the fuck are you, the White Stripes or something? Who plays bass guitar?
Me.
Oh, you play the bass?
Bass and sing, yeah.
Oof, that takes off like about 10 points of like sexual attractiveness.
No, but I sing, so
so
it all gets added back on.
Slap at the bass. So who's on the tubs?
A guy called Connor.
Connor.
You've not met him?
No. I might have to bring him out.
He was gonna actually drum. Do you remember we had a drummer sort of lined up and then he couldn't last minute? So
it was this guy?
Yeah.
Fucking Connor, prick. Anyway, let's start this podcast like we do every other week with the... that was a nice little introduction. YouTube comment section.
Getting good at this, aren't we?
It's time for a YouTube comment from you.
All right, so his first comment is from Tesma in 1983. Just a heads up, gents. I was listening and didn't decide to crash my car into a tree. Amazing podcast as always.
What? I can't remember what was
a good line. You said, I don't know, I was probably rambling on about something and you said, all the people listening to this are probably thinking, want to drive into a tree. And then you doubled down on the joke because you said the people that had continued to listen are now reversing only to drive back into the tree.
I can't remember what you were saying. Were you complaining about beards or like, I can't.
No, maybe it was like I overdid the beard critique, maybe.
Right.
I'm just trying to give people their money's worth.
This is the hardest thing about this podcast is like when they might go up 2 or 3 weeks later and somebody will then quote, most of the times they'll quote me and I don't recall it. Imagine recording for an hour and a half a week for 18 months now. I can't recall anything that we talk about on this podcast.
I'm normally reasonably good. That's why I just recalled it. Anyway, another one.
Yeah, we've got one more comment from Mats Anderson. Will you do a celebrity beard rating leaderboard as well? Would be cool to hear your opinions on different legendary beards from celebs throughout the years.
If the gaffer will allow it, mate. I feel like I don't really...
You know who's got a shit beard? Can we do one celebrity rating now? Russell Brand.
I don't know if it's a bad beard. I mean, I feel like you can't say anyone's beard is shit. Come on. But I think to me, like, I think any beard's better than no beard. So I'm always going to say something kind of positive about it, even if it's not.
But Russell Brand's looks like unkept. Do you know, like you've
been unkempt?
Is that the right way?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, yeah. There you go. Let's win you every day, kids.
But that's his look, isn't it? He's like, he looks a bit kind of like dishevelled. I think that's the chic, isn't it?
I don't know, mate.
Anyway, maybe, mate. If the boss allows it, I think we still got like probably a queue of those people we didn't do at the time. That's going to give a rating to that we passed over.
There are more people sliding in the DMs with pictures.
We'll have to do an updated one.
We'll add that to the celebrities. Yeah. Is there any more?
That's it for today. Yeah.
Right, okay. This week, so we were clutching at straws for ideas for this podcast, and somehow
Adam came in clutch.
Somehow Adam must have used ChatGPT to think of an idea. Please, Adam, tell us what the plan is.
Actually, this is so good. I think I was saying to the boys, I think I nicked this. Like, if I've nicked this from you, I'm sorry, but I've not intentionally done it. But I thought, right, so you've got a fantasy football team. Maybe this is what it was because I was looking at my fantasy football team has not done very well this year. I was doing all right, had a poor last few weeks, and I thought, what about if you were going to assemble a fantasy drinking squad? So all the lads that all lasses that you're going to go out drinking with on like your perfect night out. And a rationale for like who fits in where, why you would do it. And I said that to the gaff. I think he was going to shoot me down and say, I don't know, it's fucking dog shit. We're doing another Q&A or whatever. But no, you like the idea. So we come up with...
You were that shocked that I enjoyed the idea. You were like, yeah, should text me back. This wasn't even in the group. This was like, personally, don't patronise me.
Yeah, he said it was a good idea. I thought he's being sarcastic, but he was being sincere, actually. But so, yeah, we picked a 7-man... squad, right? So it's going to be 8 people total because you're going to be on the... I thought we didn't want to go too long, have like a full 11-man thing or 11-person thing. And reasons for why these people would form. And the reason is because, I was out on the session on Friday and you're going out on the session, aren't you, this coming weekend?
On Friday I'm flying out to Magaluf for the bank holiday weekend for a stag do. 8 of us are going, actually, so this is quite...
is it a bank holiday again?
Yeah, there's a bank holiday on the Monday.
What the fuck? How many bank holidays do we get?
Apparently it's 3 in this month. In the month of May.
Couldn't they space them out a bit?
Isn't it? It's fucking...
I realised once for the royal shit. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That seems like too many.
But yeah, so we're taking an 8-man squad out to Magaluf, which is quite funny. Like when we go through this, because I'll be like, who out of our group fits into these parts? And we've got some curveballs in that group as well.
Yeah.
Right, well, I guess you're going to have to lead us off, mate.
Am I kicking things off?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to explain a little bit about your the positioning of people and all that? Because you said like...
No, it's not the red fucking arrows. We're not going in formation. We're all going in like... Right, we're playing the Diamond Boys.
Roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that as we get through. Right? I put a little too much thought into mine. I was just going to come with a list of 7 people. But then I was trying to select people on the basis of certain criteria, right? Yeah. It's not just 7 people I like or whatever, or I think it might be fun to hang out with. People, so...
Oh, they've got to be celebrities as well.
Well, they don't necessarily have to be, but I thought I'm not going to say like George. I mean, although George would probably be decent on the session. I'm not saying that you wouldn't be George. I'm saying people that, can relate to people, you're going to pick famous people, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know? And they have to be alive.
Yeah.
I told you that, right?
That'll help.
Just because...
Taking an urn to the bar.
I'm not going to pick granddad people. Yes, do you want me to kick off?
Yeah.
Right, so number 1, right, this is my first lieutenant. He's the captain, I'm going to say, right?
Okay,
so we're going to make a lot of analogies with fantasy football here, I'm sure. But he's...
Can I just correct your pronunciation there? Lieutenant's American. If you're British, it's lieutenant.
Yeah, but there's no F in it, though. And actually, I think you'll probably find if you consult like Webster's or Oxford English Dictionary, you'll find that both pronunciations are probably accepted. But all right, have your moment. Right. So my team captain, right, the sensible one, the first person is going to be Louis Theroux.
Oh yeah.
Right. Who we've mentioned because we saw him do the talk right at the Spotify event that I totally fucked up our financial investability forever at. But so Louis Theroux is going to be number 1, right? Rationale is as follows, right? So he's going to be out early, right? He's the captain, right? So he's my second in command. We organise the event together. He's going to be out early, right? So we're both going to get at the same... We're going to have some stragglers, people that are unreliable, that are going to turn up late. So now Louis is going to be there early, right? And he's going to be... I'll have to talk to, right? Because he's got all these... a bunch of stories, right? You could talk about those mad Westboro Baptist people, what it was like filming that. Doing the, spending time at that Miami mega jail, almost sleeping with Christine Hamilton while her husband was upstairs in one of his earlier series. He's going to have loads of cool stories to talk about before we're like full on like 7 beers deep and people are just rambling about fucking nonsense, right? So that was my theory. Obviously, we'd have not a lot in common, but I feel like we've got a similar sense of humour, right? It's quite a funny lad.
Yeah.
Also, I think that as the night did wear on, he would become increasingly less sensible. And I think he'd be a hoot if he was absolutely battered.
Yeah.
I reckon he's maybe a cheeky, decent dancer. And obviously a really good documentarian. So I think he's probably going to commit to memory a lot of the things that might happen on this all-night bender, right? And maybe not document it for public viewing, right? But he'll be like, hey lads, remember when that happened? Whereas maybe other people wouldn't be quite as mentally attuned to remember things like that.
Mate, that's a god tier suggestion that for your El Capitan. I like that.
Good, right?
I'm sold on that one. I think, like you said, I think he could win them curveballs after a few drinks. Because I mean, like he won't try to get his dick out on that Louis does porn, were he? So like, I reckon he could be windmilling on dance floor. Like, can you imagine seeing him? Louis, put it away.
I think he's aging quite well as well. You know, like he's not an old looking or old spirited fella, is he? I could come across as quite a grumpy old bloke sometimes, even though you said I'm not old, George. But he seems like still quite young at heart.
I think he's been old since he was young. I think you've got it the wrong way around.
But that must kind of, by association, that means you balance out, right? So like if you were old when you were young, then you can't get any older. So I think he's still got that kind of lust for life whereby like if I say, listen, Louis, we're off out for a beer, obviously he wouldn't say yes in real life, but for the sake of the exercise, he'd be like, yeah, go on, let's go out for one. And
that's quality, mate. That is quality.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm shocked at how good that is. Actually, I'm actually a little bit jealous. I wish I'd have thought of that.
I thought that might have been on your list.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But then I thought, your list is probably just the whole cast of Jackass, right? So.
Well, so I thought, right, who's the number one pick? Like, who's the first draft pick in this?
The MVP.
The MVP. And I thought the first one, you're gonna have to like go in big with like the life of the party. Like, who could you pick that you know will deliver straight away off the bat? They're probably going to turn up pissed. Like, they're going to be like on it. They probably dip out early, but they might have a couple of Red Bulls and just, liven up a bit. You never know.
They're going to come back at 3 a.m. after they've already gone home.
And the only person that I could think of was Jenna Moran, aka Sister Beard.
My sister?
Yeah, because after seeing her at the live show, I was like, she was a fucking barrel of laughs. I was like,
she is like a borderline alcoholic. Yeah, I mean, she might even just be a functional alcoholic.
She literally is my MVP.
I can't believe she actually made it in
my draft pick.
It's a
good shout, though, isn't it?
She's definitely a great person to have on a night out because if you want the party to keep going, she ain't letting you leave, right? If somebody's trying to leave at 3 a.m., she's like wrestling you out of the taxi by your fucking scalp and by your hair, She's going to buy you beers and totally forgot that she bought the last round by 7 in a row. She's going to get us on the shots by we're getting out at 6 o'clock. She's getting the shots in at 6:20. So that is probably a good one.
When you told us a story that she woke up with like pure beer fear after the live show, I was like, that is...
Did I ever tell you the story about her being fat on... unconscious in the toilet of a bar in Leeds.
You did tell us this. Yeah,
that's not the podcast.
I think you did. Yeah.
When that was. If you didn't hear that one, there's my sister. One time, we're in this bar. That it's now I think it's like Pop World or something now. It used to be called Bourbon back in the day, and she was it was only like 11 o'clock, which I think she'd been out all day, and she was so pissed that the last thing she remembered was she went to the toilet, and then the next thing she remembers is waking up and she was outside and the bouncers had apparently brought her out half naked. I know this because one of my friends happened to be walking by and he clocked her and he told me afterwards that the bouncer told him that he'd found her with a pants down mid piss on the toilet, and she was unconscious against the wall, the thing, and he'd had to get her out and then make sure she got home all right. And my friend that was passing by had to give the bouncer shout out to the bouncer, whoever it was, his ID, and she had to confirm that she knew him and whatnot. And he sorted her out and put her in taxi.
Yeah, so hopefully she shouldn't get into that sort of state on the MVP's night out. She will, all right.
That's one of many stories.
So yeah, that's my number one draft pick.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. But
curveball, mate.
Yeah, she would be a good time for sure. I've gone with mostly celebrity people, right? In fact, most of it I had to rejig my list quite a few times because I realised that on the first draft that it was almost exclusively old people. I'm talking about people that are post-retirement age. So I livened it up a little bit. But on that topic, the next person who's turning up, Larry David. I don't know how many people know who he is.
Off that program that you watch.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? Yeah. Also one of the co-writers on Seinfeld. He's had a long, illustrious career in comedy. But yeah, probably to the youth of today, most famous for Curb Your Enthusiasm TV comedy. And yeah, so my rationale was I just think he's hilarious, right? He has a similar sense of humor to me. I think similar sensibilities, but also he's 75, I think, or 76. So he's old as fuck, which means we can share a taxi home at 11 p.m. when I inevitably go home early because I'm knackered.
I thought it was because he might die soon, and then you can go to his funeral and have a round two with the boys,
No, I think Larry David will outlast probably me. I don't know, but he's looking good for his age as well. He still looks like he's pretty fit, and I think if he plays a fictionalized version of himself in Curb Your Enthusiasm, right? But I feel like that is him. So I think hijinks could ensue, especially with the two of us there. Something's going to happen whereby we don't take the high road, and there's perhaps a disagreement or two along with fellow bar users along the way, which could be fun, you know. And I'm sure Louis Theroux would be there with his maybe like with his iPhone documenting the experience.
Can you imagine? You can just imagine like a little corner bar in Leeds, and I'm just seeing Adam like lining up there. It's Louis Theroux and this old Larry. Who's going to come in next? You know? Oh,
don't worry. The transition to slightly younger people is quite interesting. So we'll get to that. But I feel like that's you got your salt. That's a solid. So far, it's a solid trio. I just with those three, I think I could have a good time.
And number 3 on the list is Prince Philip's corpse. Who's going to sit in proper big corner over there?
You just think, well, I mean, we can't be ageist, can we? I have a lot. I think old people are way more interesting than young people as a general rule.
Yeah, I get that. You're an old man at heart, aren't you? Even though you always claim to be old, but you're actually still quite young.
You know, I was filming yesterday. The guy said I looked 25, and I don't know if he was just trying to get some money out of me or something. But I was like, oh, cheers, mate.
Yeah,
I do have quite nice skin though for my age.
You do, yeah.
Look after myself, you know, clean living. Go on, what's next?
That's right. So for me, who should we do next? So another one. So in my group, you need like a circus leader, like the challenger. This would be like the ringleader, the one that's setting like the drinking challenges, keeping us in tow. This is what we need to do at this time.
Oh, the peer pressure guy.
The peer pressure guy. And in my head, I'm like, it needs to be like a rugby guy or like a competitor, you know?
Yeah.
So at first I'm thinking like rugby players, like rugby league players that I know. And then obviously celebrities.
He's always talking about people, rugby league players and professionals that I know, and, you know, been around that house for dinner.
Fucking hell, mate. We live in Leeds. Like, they live like in flats across from here in Morley. They're not exactly celebrities.
True, right? Yeah.
Anyway, so it's not somebody I know. I've seen a lot of clips going around of Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neill.
Yeah. And I thought, you know what? He seems like a fun guy. And imagine him, like this giant human following us around, telling us, no left-hand drinking, you save the queen when somebody drops a quid in your pint, all that sort of stuff.
I could see it. Yeah.
And you wouldn't say no to him.
No, you're right. And you can't be going around talking about how you're the tallest man in the room because he's going to dwarf you. Yeah, I see that, man.
And yeah, so I figured like he would be a fun guy to have to be keeping us in tow.
Plus, he's sponsored by he does literally any sponsor you throw at him, right? He's the opposite of me, I think. So like he's probably going to have loads of free shit, isn't he? Mm. Or if he doesn't, then he might get free shit. He might have like a card for like, you know, like Budweiser or whatever. You can get the rounds in.
There's all these like stories where he'll be at like Walmart and he'll just buy a family's like shopping for a year and stuff. Or he'll be like, oh kid, have you got a bicycle? And she'll be like, no sir, go pick yourself a bicycle. And he buys her a bike. Like he's just
sounds a bit Mr. Beastie. That is he recording this for YouTube or
no? He just does it. Yeah, I mean he's like a bajillionaire, I imagine.
I guess so. Yeah, he was in like movies and stuff, wasn't he, in the 90s at the peak of his fame?
Yeah.
Who was considered better, like Michael Jordan, compared to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is it that Shaq was good though, right?
Yeah.
Or was he just like famous for being good, but like more of a character?
I don't really know. Like I've watched that. Is it
Last Dance?
Last Dance.
I've not watched that. The only thing I really know about Michael Jordan is that he played for Chicago Bulls, who are not that good anymore, right?
Yeah.
And they used to be like the Man United of basketball, like they won everything, and now they don't win anymore.
Yeah.
And he was, of course, in Space Jam.
Classic.
The original Space Jam, yeah, which was actually quite good.
Is it a remake? Who were in the remake?
I think it was LeBron, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't watch I don't really do remakes, you know. Although I did watch the remake of Evil Dead last night. Seen it before, but it is good.
Sick guy. Who's number 2?
Fact.
Who's number 3 on your list?
3. Number 3 is going to be right. We're getting into the people that aren't actually quite retired now. Steve Coogan, right, of Alan Partridge fame.
Fucking hell!
No,
don't invite me on this night out. This looks fucking terrible.
You've got like Shaq and my sister. That's the weirdest night ever. It's just some odd sexual fantasy that you've got going on.
Whoa!
Shut the fuck up.
Pimping out your sister beard.
Listen, Steve Coogan is pick number 3, right? Because I thought so well. I mean, I'll get onto that.
Great banter.
He's put Steve Coogan in your video that we're doing at the minute. He's put a clip in of Steve Coogan into your video.
Oh,
she comes over with the cake and she says, "Oh, here's one of your 5 a day," and you go, "Oh, great banter."
Is it the one where he's in the where he's doing mid-morning matters and he's like, "It's great banter."
Yeah,
that one, that's
it
a good
really
clip.
is.
Yeah, so Steve Coogan's in there because famously a party animal, right? So far, I don't know what Louis Theroux's like on the sesh. I don't know what Larry David's like. I know they probably both drink wine, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to be, by comparison, I'm going to be on the beers, maybe even a hooch or two, who knows, right? So I'm thinking I need somebody who's a little bit younger and a bit of a party animal, right? Steve Coogan back in the day, certainly, he was covered widely in the tabloids, right? Which he hated. He ended up testifying at that inquiry about tabloid behaviour, didn't he, some years ago? But anyway, he was known for being a bit of a sesh head. Hilarious, right? You're gonna need funny men there, right? I'm not like that guy who wants to be the funniest man in the room from a few weeks ago we talked about that guy who was like the Agony Aunt episode. Yeah. Where a guy was like, I don't like it because I've got a new friend who's now funny. Yeah. I want to just sit there and enjoy. And be made to laugh, yeah?
Yeah.
Not that they're all performing monkeys for me, but yeah, Steve Coogan's going to be there, right? And he's great at impressions, which I also very much appreciate. Right? I think he's probably better than me, but I feel we could do a couple of impressions to the rest of the group. They could critique him. We need someone to tell jokes. And I feel like he might be good at getting the other two prior members of the squad on it a bit, because obviously they don't know me, right? But then a lot of people far and wide know Steve Coogan because he's an actor as well, right? Not short of a comedian. He's been in some pretty big movies and stuff.
Would you do like a meet and greet before, not a meet and greet, like a team Zoom to get everyone to know each other before the big night out? Or would you just fucking figure it out and you get
Mostly because I would never just ever use Zoom.
Like a lockdown style Zoom where everybody comes on and you can play. What did you do in lockdown? Remember? You used to play like
quizzes and stuff. Quizzes and
yeah.
George was just on Pornhub the whole time. I'm almost certain of it, right?
Yeah, just red raw. Pulling head clean off it.
What's with the visuals, man?
You've got to. It's an audio visual experience.
I called it Molly's Premier Audio Visual Experience now, so yeah, maybe you're doing this justice. But so that's my third pick. And so I realise it's still largely mostly older men than me. But,
so yeah, I agree with you. We need a funny guy. So that's what I was looking for in my next pick. And this was a tough one.
If you say Johnny Knoxville, so help me God.
Nah, he's not that funny, Johnny Knoxville. Oh. So for my funny guy to tell stories, anecdotes, just have us all giggling away, I chose the American comedian Theo Von. Are you aware of this man?
I don't know who he is. You're going to have to tell me who he is. I've literally never heard of him.
I wonder if you have to find some like funny quotes of like stuff he said.
Yeah,
I might know by face.
Get on Instagram and have a look, see if it might be lost on Adam though, like a one clip.
It might be, yeah.
What kind of?
Find this. Right,
oh, God,
you might have to beat this out.
I don't know what's coming here.
Find the clip from his stand-up comedy where he's on about his cousin getting bitten and play it on your phone because you can play it through the thing, can't you?
Oh wait, I know this guy, motherfucker. No,
why?
I feel like he's. I mean, look, I don't know him. I've seen a couple of clips, so I'm loath to make judgment. But I feel like a lot of the things that he says for the effect of trying to offend as many people as possible.
No, I don't think he's. I don't think he's an offensive comedian. I think he can just he can freeball, like he can make up stories, like elaborate stories, and eventually come to an ending that is funny.
Right, cool, man. Yeah, I feel like it's going to put the cat amongst the pigeons at least.
Yeah, I've got some other. There were like interchangeable comedians in that position. Shane Gillis, again another American comedian. He does very much like bro comedy. It's a little bit like his podcast, but a bit more hardcore. You wouldn't like it because it's funny. And like Joey Diaz, he's a funny guy.
Who the fuck are these people?
You know who's not funny? I don't think it's that particularly funny. Joe Rogan. Like he's the comedian, but I don't find
his comedy's not actually that funny.
Yeah, like that's not.
Is he a comedian?
That's what he's known for.
I thought he was like a podcast host. And he was like on a TV presenter.
You want it? Should I have this conversation with you?
You
were like, oh, he's known for, he's famous because at UFC, innit? I went, no, he was famous. He got really famous because of Fear Factor. He made all his money and became famous because of Fear Factor.
I knew he was on that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was until you told me actually on this podcast. I didn't realize because you said something like he's still living off the money of Fear Factor,
like he made like. He did however many seasons.
I didn't know he was a comedian. I just thought it was like a TV, like the American equivalent of like, I don't know, Dermot O'Leary. You know, like he was just presenting stuff. I didn't know he was a comedian.
No, yeah, he's like a straight stand-up selling out arenas comedian. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, like comedy's subjective, isn't it? Just like I don't find Peter Kay funny at all. But some people, he's like a national treasure.
Apparently
right?
His latest tour's shite. I've had multiple sources tell me it's shite. I don't know if
your MVP went to actually see him on Friday. I was walking past the arena. And I was like, I wonder who's playing tonight. And it turned out Jen turned up. I was out with my dudes, and she had like found me on my phone was on Do Not Disturb, right? So nobody could contact me. And she had tracked my location. She turned up. I was like, buy your boy a drink then, mate. And she went to see.
Did she rate it? Did she rate the show?
She wasn't really that into it, no. And she's like, very easily impressed.
Yeah.
She probably thinks I'm funny. So like for her, Peter Kay should be like, she loves our boy Paul Smith, right?
Yeah.
She thinks he's the funniest thing ever. So, but she was a bit like, but I mean, I think it must be so much harder to be funny in some way that big.
Oh man, can you imagine?
Like, so I think to come back to what I was getting at, comedy's subjective, right? So like if I was going to bring comedians, I don't even know how those are, but they wouldn't probably be my cup of tea.
No. All right, cool. Who's on your list next?
I should really just keep this out, shouldn't I? But,
I've got 2 lists for me. I've got like my reserves. I've got my A team and my reserves in front of me.
I've got a message from EE. I got a new phone recently. That rhymes like a Dr. Seuss bit. Purely because this went out of contract like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is what's the newest iPhone?
14, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's one of those. But man, it's such a pain in the arse to like transfer them over, right? I'd rather just have the same phone for like 30 years.
Anyway. Purposely slow them down and take batteries off and shit.
Is that conspiracy theory? Is that real?
No, it's true. Like, they got sued for it, yeah.
Shut the fuck up a second. Right, so this is where it gets interesting, right?
Do you like your fucking teeth, do you?
Is that you trying to be hard? That's your hard face.
I don't need to. I'll come round and fucking smash your teeth in. Come on, spit it out.
Right, so there's a little kind of extra here. Before we get to the real party animals. Animals? I almost said enema then.
I think you flustered him now.
I know, he's shitting his keks over there.
I'm terrified over here. I think I'm just fucking overheating because I'm wearing this.
It's the first time we've seen him
told you not to come in a jumper.
Do you know what this? Do you know what? I'm going to give. If anyone can tell me what this is without cheating, I'm going to give you £100 right here and now. I don't have the cash on me, but I will give you £100. Do you know what it references?
Is it a movie or a TV series?
You ain't getting close, George. If I'm giving you £100, you've got to just tell me what it is.
I can't read the bottom line.
It says Glengarry Glen Ross. That's all you really need to know. No? It's probably the most niche in-joke sweater that I have. It's not really a joke. It's from the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, right? But that's the name of the real estate firm in the film, which is it's based on a play, right? But it's a great film. It sounds like on the surface like it's not that good, but it has the most swear. You probably like it. It's got the most swears. I think it still has the most record for the most swears in a theatrical release.
Cool story, bro. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? That's somebody fucking driving the car back into the tree.
If anyone out there has seen Glengarry Glen Ross, which probably very few people have, but if you have, you'll appreciate the genius of it, right? It's got like the late Jack Lemmon in it, right? It's about people that are forced to sell things using surreptitious means, sell real estate, flip houses. But it's a good film. Go watch it. Anyway, so do you want me to lose some space, put some crickets in, George? I know it'll make you happy.
I'd fade that to white noise.
You should. That is actually quite good.
With the monkey clapping cymbals in his head.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at how happy he is. Happy, fucking love a happy beard. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, so before we get to the real party animals, we need a classy buffer, right? So we need someone who makes the group. We need to start thinking about group mentality now. It makes us look hip, but in a kind of controlled, sophisticated manner. Remember, we've got to be trying to get into multiple bars here. We're not just turning up at like the Nag said, staying there for the night. We're going on a proper sesh. So I'm going to invite Adrian Brody. You know Adrian Brody, the actor?
So a quick googly search.
You'll know him by face.
Name rings a bell.
You'll know him by face, right? Then I will follow with my rationale, because people might be thinking, why the fuck are you bringing?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. So I'm bringing Adrian Brody because he's like handsome in kind of like an off the wall, slightly odd looking way. I'm sure he won't mind me saying that. He's a big fan of the podcast. Always dresses well, right? We're never getting knocked back, right? If we're with a bloke that advertises for Giorgio Armani. Yeah. Right? And he's got some great films. The Pianist, right? I think he still actually has, that's Pianist before you get any ideas.
Wait, what do you think I am?
I think he's still got the record, I think, for the youngest person to ever win Best Actor Oscar, I think. Detachment, which I watched recently, which is about a substitute teacher, really great film, and Clean, which is less good. It's a bit like a crap Taken, but it's still good. Originally, that spot was going to go to potentially Keanu Reeves, right? Who's going through a bit of a renaissance. But I thought, right, a bit like you would in fantasy football, we probably don't have the budget to get Keanu out on a night out, right? He's probably not going to want to be with us, whereas I think Adrian Brody might be interested. If I could tap him up, maybe he'd want to come. Also, I think if we had Keanu Reeves, right, we're probably going to get flocked to by lots of middle-aged women who are a bit excited, right? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it could interrupt the enjoyment of a night, or just anyone in general, not just middle-aged women. I just think they find him sexually attractive. Right? So I'm bringing Adrian Brody with me, right?
Yeah.
I think he'd be good to talk to. He's got that kind of classy vibe that whereby some of the other people that are coming for the rest of the list.
Women.
No, the people that are coming for the rest of the list, that was a disgusting joke, are a bit more kind of wild. So he's going to be the guy that gets us into bars. He's going to say, look, geezer, I'm an Oscar winner. I'm wearing like a designer like £7,000 suit. Let us in, no questions. And he's probably going to convince people.
Yeah, I like it. It's a strong one, well thought out.
Yeah.
On the same sort of vein that you need to bring, like, I figure we need to bring somebody that can.
I'm out of coffee.
Do you want a bottle of water? I'm just give you one.
Bottle of water? No, I'm all right. I'll be okay.
Yeah, on the same vein, I thought we need to bring somebody that's like highbrow, you know. I thought we need a money bag, so we need somebody that can bankroll this, because if you've got people at different rankings of social status, and like the top rank wants to go somewhere nice, normally they're like, oh yeah, come on lads, I'll pay for yous.
You get to be richer than Shaquille O'Neill. Yeah.
Yeah, but Shaq's got other priorities. He's not buying little girls bicycles. He's buying. You
stopped at the wrong point. He's not buying little girls. I hope he's not buying little girls.
Yeah, he's too busy
like little Russian dolls, but he's buying like real women.
He's manning,
stacking them up on his mantelpiece.
He's manning the team and making sure everybody's drinking, no left hand drinking.
Fun. I get it.
So we need like money bags. So somebody that likes to sort of like declare the wealth, pay for everything. So I'm going to invite beard meets food.
I knew what was coming to. Do you know what bankroll is? I just knew it was coming.
To bankroll this. So like, I think you've got to be there, mate, because you'll come in your suede jacket.
Hang about. Who's on your list so far? My sister Shaquille O'Neill.
Yeah. And Theo Von.
Yeah. And I'm bankrolling this.
You're bankrolling.
Not Shaq.
Nah, not Shaq. I think that's insulting. I don't know Shaq. I can't like Shaq. I know you've got some dough.
With
mates. I'm like your family now.
Because you like write up your invoice and you add the zero and you send it to me and I'm like, no worries, mate. You think you can do that with the beers as well? Right,
yeah.
Okay.
I reckon after a couple of beers, you're even more generous.
I think I'm quite a generous geezer when it comes to buying drinks. Yeah, I think so. Just because you're supposed to be having a good time, right? And I feel like share the wealth. Although having said that, I was out on Friday and I put up. Linz was giving me grief because I put up a story on Instagram.
I saw
saying your boys out in Leeds tonight. If you we didn't see my location. It said Leeds. It was ambiguous enough. I said if you see your boy tonight, buy me a drink. I was just being that was me trying to be humorous at some level, right? And actually, 2 people did offer to buy me a drink, and then one bouncer actually did give me a drink.
All right, yeah.
Which I drank enthusiastically. Could I add anything in it?
And then woke up on the bathroom floor. Yeah.
Chance to be a fine thing. It'd be the most action I got in years. But I think I would be. I think I'd be pretty generous. Probably not with Shaq, because I'd be like, come off it, mate.
Yeah.
But the rest of the group, I think.
Yeah, no, I reckon you'd fit in well. You'd do all right, mate. I think you'd
have
be
to
good.
Take a photo of him next to Shaq.
Yeah. What, stood in his shoe?
Yeah. Get him to put his jacket on or something.
Is it your size like 32? If I got in that, I'd be like a fucking rowing boat.
George. How tall's Shaq? Have a look.
I get in that and I rode down the river, because we're going out in Leeds, obviously.
Obviously, mate.
They'll be loving that.
But yeah, I thought we've got to take you out. You've got to come with us.
Oh, that's nice of you. So you got 2 members of my family who are coming on. This is pretty sad, actually.
What?
This is your dream sesh squad.
To be fair, I'd rather
me and my sister.
I'd rather mates with your sister than you.
Yeah, you scoundrel.
So Shaq's 7'1" and his shoe size is 22.
What shoe size are you?
11. Double my size.
George?
9.
Yeah, I'm a 9. Well, I always thought I was an 8, but like then I started shopping. I don't know if it's just a Vans thing, but I get 9s at Vans.
Right.
So I don't know if it's just that they're naturally tighter or whatever, but tell myself I'm a 9. I don't know. Anyway, is it time for the next member of my squad?
Next one for you, mate.
Right, now we're getting to fun stuff now, right? So I thought I need a bit of a party animal, right? Because so far, it's a bit academic, right? It's a bit scholarly. We're going to have a lot of people probably talking about pretentious stuff, maybe, if the beer is not free-flowing. So the next person on my list is Mario Balotelli. Famous football. Josh probably got no idea who he is, right? But George certainly will know.
I thought you were an opera singer.
No. Mario Balotelli, I've known probably mostly for his time at Man City, right? And some of the eccentric stuff he got up to there. Known as a bit of a bad boy, right? Known as kind of, in many ways, a wasted talent, I think. A lot of people think of him as in terms of football, right? But he's very famous for pulling, training ground stunts. He was caught throwing He's setting fireworks off in a hotel room. But also he's known as being a bit of a man of the people, as well, a bit of Robin Hood. He went to a library famously in Manchester and paid off everyone's library fines when they existed. Did libraries even exist anymore?
I don't know, you know.
I don't remember the last time I drove past a library. There used to be one in my mum's house, but I don't even think that's there anymore. But yeah, so apparently he's very generous. I thought Louis Theroux might be a bit of a round dodger. I get that vibe from him. So I'm thinking Mario he's generous with the money, a bit like you thinking of me there. So Mario's going to sort us out, economically provide some protection from the potential round dodgers like Louis Theroux and maybe Adrian Brody. He might be a round dodger. Loads of mad stories, right? I love football, so I can talk about football all day. And he's got a nice you like this part. He's got a nice collection of cars apparently. And he's got a bit of a penchant for just leaving his cars to collect because he doesn't give a shit because probably he's got so many, right? He'll just park them up somewhere. They'll accumulate parking tickets and he doesn't really care. So he'll be maybe like maybe he drops us off. But like if it's a good sesh, he stays out and just leaves his car like parked in some double yellow somewhere.
So he's like the designated drunk driver.
No, he doesn't drive. That's the point. So like he comes out and he's knowing Mario, he's be thinking like, who the fuck are these fools, right?
Yeah.
And if he's not enjoying it, he can drive home after he's had an orange juice. But if he's thinking, oh, this is a good sesh, he drives out his fucking Bugatti, whatever the fuck ever, and he's parked it on some double yellows, but he doesn't care. So he thinks, I'll just get a taxi home and I'll leave it there.
Yeah. I like it.
That's the extent to which I thought about this.
That designated drunk driver thing's off Family Guy. I'm pretty sure, like on Family Guy, this Peter and all his crony of mates go out and they're like, "Who's the best? Who can drive the best after 5 beers?" So then he's the designated drunk driver as opposed.
Not that we're advocating that for any potential sponsors listening.
Anyone else just drove into a tree.
Yeah.
All right, so I've had the crazy one. I've got money bags. I've got a life of the pie. I wanted somebody to just bring the vibe, you know, like, and when you think of like good vibes, I always think of the Polynesian culture, and more specifically, there's a fighter called Max Holloway. You might know him. Do you know him?
No.
All right, a Hawaiian fighter called Max Holloway. Cool
I like
guy.
Hawaiian food.
Yeah, could bring some food with him, but he's just a proper cool dude. And I thought we need that energy in the group because we've got some wild cards in there.
Also, good protection, I imagine, if you get 20 scuffles.
I said that. I said, like, when you start fighting with Shaq at the end of the night.
I'm a man of peace. With Shaq, he'd just fucking stand on me.
No, you'll start fighting with one of the members that's going to come later on. So we're going to need Max Holloway to sort of break that up. But he's famously known for, I think he's had 2 fights with Conor McGregor.
Oh, another face, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know about him. He doesn't look like a Max, does he?
Holloway?
Yeah, he's had 2 fights, I think, with Conor McGregor.
I didn't think he'd fought him all.
He got knocked out one of his earliest fights. Have a look at Max.
Was that like early on?
Yeah. In McGregor's come up. Have a Google of his Sherdog. He's fought Alexander Volkanovski. Volkanovski was almost on that list because he's an Aussie. He's got good vibes.
That's not a zoom lens, it's a prime. But he looks to me a little bit like, for any football fans out there, like a slightly older, naturally beat up version of Ilkay Gundogan. I know you won't know that as Josh. It wasn't for your benefit.
Can you Google him? Have a look at him.
I guess so.
But yes, I thought Max Holloway would be a shout. There were some more people in there, some UFC fighters that are fun guys from down under and Hawaii and all that. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
just got a better beard for one, and he's less beat up, isn't he? Naturally.
Yeah, I think Max Holloway's a bit punch drunk. To be fair.
Well, I mean, you get hit in the face, don't you? You're gonna. It's got to do some damage, right?
Go on, George. What's his? He fought McGregor, right? Have you had a look?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Did he lose to McGregor?
Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure twice he fought him twice.
Was he submitted or? Speaking of which, I thought this would be top of George's agenda. Didn't KSI elbow somebody to win a boxing match?
100%.
A few weeks back.
Bending the rules. I don't know, these kids. I'm saying that because I know there's some like massive KSI fans that for some reason still listen to our podcast.
It's his boxing promotion though. So
so you're allowed to elbow when you want.
Well, they're not going to like review it, are they?
Yeah.
Didn't that? No, I think it got overturned, didn't it? I'm sure
I think I read it got overturned.
I hadn't heard about that anyway. Let me Google it.
Anyway, yeah, you're not allowed to elbow people or punch them in the nuts, are you? Maybe you grew up playing that. What was that boxing game where you could do like a couple of illegal strikes, like headbutt and knee them?
Bite the ear off
but
like
if you did
Tyson.
too much, I don't think you could go that far. But you got like, was it Ready to Rumble? It might be actually being called Ready to Rumble. I think
you might be right,
sure it was on like a Dreamcast or something. If that's a thing, let me know.
You know what? When you suggested this, all I could think about, did you see that picture that came out a few weeks back at the UFC event where there was Dana White, Donald Trump, Kid Rock, and Mike Tyson sat cage side. I reshared it on my Instagram and said Donald Trump, Joe Exotic, and Mike Tyson, because the picture, Kid Rock looks exactly like Joe Exotic, from Tiger King.
Yeah.
Which I felt like, I think a lot of people made that same observation.
That sounds, well, the lineup there just sounds like the opposite of my dream drinking squad.
It's fucking nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. Although, I mean, Mike Tyson again, if he ever got into any trouble, he'd probably more likely he's going to get mad with you and punch you. Though.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was almost on the list, but then I thought he's got a dodgy past, and it's the plot to The Hangover, so we can't really be followed.
I might have stolen that from somewhere. Are we going on?
That's you now.
There are no midway sections. Don't we normally break this up?
Oh, we can break it up.
We're nearly there now anyway.
Yeah, finish it off.
Just finish it off?
Yeah. What time are we running at? Yeah.
Finish it.
46 minutes.
Shit, it's going to be a long podcast. Hold on, folks.
Oh, there's more. Right, now this next one is I'm not going to lie, is mostly to piss George off, right? But he's bringing some vibes equally. Yeah. It's your boy. It's Matty Healy, from the 1975. Now, stick with me on this, right? Because I don't want to come across like I'm the greatest 1975 fan on the universe. I'm not. But George and I have some disagreements about it, right? So he's a well-known sesh head, right? So he's in the group with Steve Coogan, right? They're going to be the most rambunctious, I think. They're going to be out there. They're going to be on it. They're going to keep a bit like you say with Shaq, right? They're going to keep us all boozing, right?
Yeah.
They're going to keep the party going. I did say the one con is that he's probably liable to go off on some mental existential monologue about tofu-powered cars at some point, right? But especially when he's had a few beers. But if you can tolerate that, then I think it's going to be a good laugh. And if we end up at a karaoke bar or an open mic or something like that, where of course George wouldn't be playing, but if we ended up somewhere like that, he's musically gifted, could get a bit of a sing-song going. And if any of the members of the group, for some reason, women are just attracted to Matt Healy like flies around poo, right? So if there are any members of the group so far, like Larry David, maybe, I don't know if he's single, or Adrian Brody, maybe he could get us, he could sort us out, because there might be some women coming across to chat to Matt. He might say, oh, here's my friend Adrian Brody. He advertises for fucking Armani or whatever. So I've given it some this is cerebral. I've given it some proper thought.
You have, yeah?
Yeah, so Mike Healy's in there, and he's I think not the ringleader, but he's going to be late, right? So he's going to probably turn up late. Again, probably already drunk, but I think also he has nice hair.
I don't even know what this dude looks like, me.
Do you know what he looks like?
Nah.
I mean, like an average bloke that you see down the local petrol station or something.
All right.
Probably see 6 of him walking down Morley Town Centre every morning. Just looks like an average geezer to me, but...
I saw everyone that's in Morley today looks exactly like what you described my uncle as at the start of this podcast. Slazenger wife beater vest on, St. George's tattoo on his arm, smoking a tab with 3/4 length shorts on, and some Slazenger Reebok Classics on.
Reebok Classics. Also, like Matt Healy might bring his dad, Tim Healy. He might say, "Can my dad come?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, man." But bonus member of the group was in Our Feed the Same Pet.
You should always have a Geordie with you on a night out.
Yeah. Good. Well, I suppose.
Could have told that before we made his list, mate. Because no Geordies on ours. Well, in the same vein of musical talent and bringing the action, I've titled this one "The Crazy One," which could go either way.
That's not my sister.
It's not your sister.
Good
so
Lord,
your sister's
this
alive
person's
for the party, which she can sort of do both. But
this
she is
person
alive.
might be really crazy now.
I've gone for Jack Black.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because
that's a good one.
He's a boy that you could bring, and he can throw out a tune, do some impressions.
Yeah.
Whip crack goes sing along a bit of Tenacious D. Whip crack goes a whip a tail.
Get that little saxophone thing out that he plays. Have you seen that when he does that?
No.
Oh, it's class.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, mother up. 1, 2, 3.
So yeah, Jack Black. I think
that's the best pick. I think like that I'm sad that I didn't pick him up. Oh, it was George's pick.
No, but I had to deliberate with George before.
I thought he couldn't have.
I suggest
our group chat picture for forever were Tenacious D, wasn't it? When we had his band. We need to put that back.
And
in
now
the
it's
group.
Mike shaving his legs.
We need to change that back. But yeah, I thought Jack Black. I think he's going to be.
I think that'd be great. Yeah, he's going to be I reckon he'll get there on time. He's going to be out for the full sesh. If anyone's flagging, he's going to cheer him up.
Yeah.
He'll probably be giving cuddles out left, right, and centre. You know, if you're one of those people that when you get drunk, you like a little bit of a touch.
I think you'd cuddle
Not in a
him.
weird way.
I think you'd cuddle him after a drink.
You know, so I when I was out on Friday, I was speaking to this dude who watches the videos, and he did tell me his name. I won't say it out of. He probably doesn't listen to the podcast, but anyway, he said he had like he'd had a bad year, right? And he'd been laid off from work. He said, "Can I have a hug?" I said, "Of course you can have a hug, mate." I thought it was nice. So I must look like a good hugger.
Yeah, I think it's that vibe that you give off on your main channel, which is not carried over to this.
Yeah, well, maybe not. Yeah, right. But I think I don't. Maybe alcohol had got the better of him at that point in terms of the fact he was a bit drunk and he thought like he was alright.
That's a nice thing in it because like
yeah,
he's met somebody that he enjoys watching on the old telly old telly box once a week, and that helps. That's nice. That's what being a human is about.
Can I have a hug? And actually, it's probably as well because I tweeted and I said like if you're one of the 2 million, when back when I had 2 million subs, said if you see me in public, ask me for a hug. So it's probably that actually thinking about it. But yeah, I delivered the hug. Mate, it was a good one as well, I think.
So have you got one more? Is that your list?
No, I got one more.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, we've just done Jack Black. I'm sorry.
Well, in the interest of inclusivity, because I get the feeling that I don't want him to think I'm a sexist. Of course, I'm not. But it's not a token edition because I like the idea of I'm bringing Joe Brand. Yeah, we're gonna need some laughs along the way. She's kind of got that dry, slightly miserable sense of humor like me. Don't tell me you don't know who Joe Brand is.
Yeah,
Jesus
I
Christ.
do. I just wanted to double check. It was her.
So I'm bringing Joe Brand, and yeah, I mean she's going to tell some. I mean I've got enough comedians probably there already, but yeah, I'm bringing Joe Brand with me, man, because as well, like I like the fact that she's a foodie as well, right? I saw that she talks about. One quote I saw from her, she said like she loves the vegetarians, and somebody said, "Is that not difficult?" She's like, I can't remember what she said. It was something probably really witty because she's a professional comedian, but she said something like, "No, I aggressively pursue pork pies in secret, so they don't know," which I thought was quite fun. But yeah, he likes a grub, but probably nobody else on there. And I'm not saying that before anyone says it. I'm getting into deep water now. Because she's notoriously known for being like overweight. No, because she talks about like food and stuff. So we could chat about grub and. Yeah, I think she'd be a good laugh, right?
So read us back your lineup.
And keep the lads in tow, right? Because I think sometimes you need a bit of a smack, don't you?
Stop Louis Theroux windmilling, not dance floor, yeah.
Exactly, right? Not I'm saying that's implying that I'm saying she's like the mother of the group. I suppose she is like in spirit.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, is there?
That's got a sound, mate. Go on, read us your list back then. Come on,
you got to worry, haven't you?
I need to hear this squad back.
Right, so squad is Louis Theroux.
Yep.
Larry David.
Yep.
Steve Coogan.
Yep.
Adrian Brody.
Yep.
Mario Balotelli.
Yeah.
That's a proper weird
So
one to throw in. But it's going to be a laugh. Matty Healy.
Yeah.
And Joe Brand.
That's a fucking random squad.
That would be
a random one.
That's so random, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what makes it good.
Yeah.
Imagine like all the fun, all the hijinks that would ensue with such a squad.
I like it, mate. So my final pick, every group, even though it's 2023, in my opinion, needs a smoker because that's where the best conversations are had are in the smoking area. You remember when smoking was a thing.
I do, yeah. I remember what happened inside.
Yeah, I do as well. I've never smoked in my life. I've never smoked, but I've always remember having the best conversations in the smoking area. And so like we need a straggler within the crew that's like tabbing away outside, chatting to some rando to then like, because let's bring a different energy back to the group. We might have going down some rabbit holes. You never know where the adventure might take us. And to also obviously keep you happy, the only smoker that I could think of that would be good, Machine Gun Kelly.
No, come on. If I'm on this night out, Machine Gun Kelly's getting.
No, Machine Gun Kelly, he's there. That's it. That's him. So that's my list. I think he might bring Megan Fox with him as well. But either way, like. Bit of smoking area, chat to
what's this full list then?
So my full list is Sister Beard, Life of the Party, the crazy one, Jack Black, the funny one, Theo Von, bringing the vibe, we've got Max Holloway, the smoker, Machine Gun Kelly, the money bags.
Of all these people, I'm the money bags.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No, you're the money bags.
If you think I'm buying Machine Gun Kelly a drink, then you've got another fucking thing coming.
And the Challenger Shack, that's my list.
It's good though, because I'm thinking if I'm on this night out, Machine Gun Kelly goes for a cigarette, you know what I'm doing? I'm booting the fire door closed in his face, right? So he can't get back in. We're all good.
If you think like after a few drinks, because I know what you're like after a cup of coffee, so I reckon after 2 beers, you'll lose your shit with Machine Gun Kelly. You'll start fighting.
You're trying to make it like I'm a violent man or something. And I'm a very relaxed, drunk person. All I do is like I cuddle people a lot. Okay. Not in a weird way though. I'm aware of barriers, right? But yeah, I'm kind of a handsy drunk, I think. But a good like in a friendly with friends. I don't mean like I just go up and start touching random strangers unless they ask me like Geezer did. Yeah, I think you should give me like totally. We keep saying this. Should get wasted on this podcast one time.
Yeah. Well, we tried to at Christmas, didn't we? But you were busy. You had to go somewhere.
I started to drive, so I couldn't. Oh, did I?
There were a reason you had to drive. It were only me drinking mead by myself on it.
Was it? Yeah, I probably had to drive somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, I think my squad's. I'm having a better night than you.
Right. Well,
I reckon
we'll have to split this out to the audience. You could decide who's got the better drinking squad there.
I'd be interested to see. And yeah, drop your comments as well. Who's in your drinking squad? Just 7. You don't have to give us the rationales. Give us 7 names.
Let us know if we make the cut or not as well.
Do it. We need the engagement.
Yeah, am I on the night? I feel like I might be on some people's actual list.
They'd be so disappointed when you got there, but they'd fucking loads of people like, oh yeah, I'd love to meet me.
Do you want to give any quick honourable mentions?
Yeah, so
I was go on. Do you want to go first?
On my honourable mentions, I've actually got Chris Pratt, which I thought would be a fucking good one, to be fair.
No, seriously, he's supposed to be a really nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I imagine he's a funny guy as well. And James Smith, you know, the PT guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because he seems so sarcastic that I think he'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I was going to invite... I thought about Peter Capaldi. Not because I like Doctor Who. I've been watching a lot of The Thick of It lately where he plays Malcolm Tucker. You must know Peter Capaldi.
Come on, Louis Capaldi, mate. I don't know Peter Capaldi.
Well, they're distantly related. I mean, Peter Capaldi's older. I thought about inviting Conor Oberst of Bright Eyes. You won't even know him, musician. I thought about inviting Emma Watson, but I thought that's just I'm going to end up in Mrs. Beard's bad books there because you never know what might happen. I'm quite a charming man. Once the beer starts to flow, she might even be tempted. I'm joking.
To stroke your beard.
Yeah, everyone wants a touch of the beard.
That sounds even worse.
There were a lot. It was basically loads of old men. I was going to invite Jack Nicholson. Right.
Yeah. I saw a picture of him the other day, and it's like a meme going around. It was like I can't remember the fucking meme. Jack Nicholson like 20 years ago versus now, and he's looking old. Is that old dude?
He's
now?
Old, man.
Yeah.
I love the fact he doesn't give a shit. He's always got those basketball games.
Yeah, it was a basketball game.
Oh, was it?
Hair's like this.
Love that, man. That's I want my final form to be like that. So yeah, I could. Mine was mostly old dudes that I was gonna invite. I won't lie.
Well,
I had Paul Chowdhury on there for a moment, but I thought, I can't have somebody with a beard nicer than mine.
He shaved it off.
Get the fuck out.
Mate, look on his Instagram. Paul Chowdhury, he's like got his tash still, but then he's got like a really cutting beard. So he's cut the beard. In fact, I'm gonna have to show you because I saw it and I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Paul Chowdhury.
Oh, but he's still got a beard. Like fuck. I thought you meant like he'd gone full. Have you seen the ones of him where he's actually fully clean shaven?
No.
It looks strange. I mean, it doesn't look bad.
That was the one. He's clearly just done it there. And I'm like, what the fuck's happened? He's got like a massive tash and then just like not a lot of beard.
One of the I saw like when he was, when they talked to the audience, like I mate Paul Smith's very famous for. I saw a clip of him doing that. So he says like, nice beard, mate. Yeah, how long did that take you to grow? The guy's like, oh, yeah, about 2 years. He's like, nice, yeah, cute. I grew this on the way up.
Yeah. That's like you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to move on to the next section. I think we do Breaking Beard. Breaking Beard!
Let's do it.
Breaking Beard!
Okay, so God knows where we are on the scale at the moment, but we're just going to do it anyway, and we'll figure it out later. So I've got some true or false questions, 3 each. Who wants to go first?
With that shit that it has to be true or false now, so we got 50-50 toss it. I think I was first last time, so maybe Josh could go first this time.
Yeah, you were definitely first last time. Yeah. Okay. Germany drinks the most beer in the world per person. True or false?
I think Germany. I think that could be true, right? Because they drink the Steins, don't they? And that's like, what's that, 2 pints, 3 pints in there?
It's about 2, isn't it?
So if they're smashing them things back by volume, I'm going to say that's true.
It's actually false.
I thought that was like one of those things that's meant to lead you to believe it's true. Is it? Can I have a guess?
Yeah, go on.
Is it Japan?
No.
Oh, bugger. India?
No.
All right, fuck it, I'll shut
Apparently
up.
the Czech Republic.
Ah, yeah.
Fair cop, yeah.
Yeah, they do like a beer out there. Speaking of Germans, did you see the Volkswagen Italy Instagram page?
Only because you sent it, yeah.
So for those that haven't seen it, Volkswagen Italia, actually it looks like Volkswagen genitalia. And that's
your level, isn't it,
We'll
mate?
put it on the screen.
You have to put it on screen to articulate to people.
Yeah.
I think I can probably fucking spell, mate. Although I don't know, looking at the comments on my last video, maybe people just generally can't spell much these days.
Okay. Next one. In some states, it's illegal to eat specific foods while walking backwards. True or false?
It's me, yeah?
Yeah.
I feel that's right, yeah.
It is true.
Those mad old things like you can still... What's the one thing about killing Scottish people on New Year's Day or something? There's a weird one like you can shoot a Scottish person with a bow and arrow or something.
On York, on the wall that goes around York with a crossbow, I think you can still kill a Scottish person.
It says you can't eat donuts and walk backwards in Marion, Ohio. You can't eat peanuts and walk backwards during a concert in Green, New York. And you can't eat a hamburger and walk backwards in Oklahoma City.
Are those like just a piss take? Like, I feel like why were they... Some things you could kind of almost get an idea for why they were introduced in the first place and now they're antiquated, but like those just seem like they're made up. I'll take the point though. I'll take the win.
Point. Okay, Josh. There's a city in Pennsylvania called Intercourse. True or false?
Definitely true.
It is true.
You got to have intercourse, haven't you?
I think I've been through that actually.
Oh, Intercourse.
Being in it, man, yeah.
Okay, next one. In the Star Wars franchise movies, the voice of Yoda was played by the same person who did the voices of Miss Piggy and the Cookie Monster. True or false?
True.
It was true. It was performed by Frank Oz.
Sound quite alike, don't they? Like he's got one. Come on, Frank. You add some more range. Add some more range. They all sound too similar. Apart from the Cookie Monster, he's a bit more. I suppose he's more manly.
Okay, next one, Josh. People in Japan eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for Christmas dinner.
True.
Only because you've seen that on my fucking video, mate.
Seen it on his video.
I gave him the win
It's
there.
true.
Yeah.
That's not
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I mean, it's no more odd, is it, than I suppose putting.
Is it just more readily available chicken than turkey? Is that what it is?
I think there is some reason behind it. Something to do with like marketing. You know, like I don't know if like
Because don't they have like grape soda and shit as well? Isn't that like a part of it as well? Or Ribena? Google that.
What, at Christmas?
Yeah.
Ribena.
I'm pretty sure.
Don't know,
It might be countries that I'm getting wrong here. It might be India that do that. I might be really fucking this up, but I'm pretty sure there's another country that has like Ribena at Christmas time-ish.
maybe I don't know. I mean, that's not that way, is it? Ribena is basically just like a slightly less posh version of Schlur, which people drink at Christmas time. You know, when they're not drinking alcohol.
I don't know.
Pregnant middle-aged people.
No results for that.
You just made that up, mate. You just dreamt
You
it.
just made it up.
It's a bit like when you were thinking, have I made this up or have I stole it from somebody? That's my mind. What country drinks Ribena to celebrate?
While you're doing that.
Can't you pretty much only get Ribena in England anyway?
I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck you're on. Go on.
Is it not in America and stuff?
I've never seen Ribena in America, ever. Not to say that it's not there, but I've certainly never seen it. I thought it was just like an English thing. Like
I wonder if it's Vimto.
Oxo.
Leave this with me. I'll get the answer.
All right, anyway.
So, Adam, it's illegal in Georgia to eat fried chicken with a knife and fork. True or false?
True.
Sorry. Vimto during Ramadan. Way off with that bag. Or way off with my guesses.
They do drink Vimto in Ramadan.
Why is the sweet British drink popular during Ramadan? Vimto. I knew I'd heard it somewhere. There is a big article here. We can link that below.
Is there quick reasons to why it's popular, or I've never heard that before, and I know a few people who do Ramadan. Did you say do? Participate in it? I guess I don't know. Observe. That's probably the word, isn't it? Observe Ramadan. I don't care that much if it's going to take you forever.
There's even a big article here, but I've heard that before. Like that's more to the point.
Well, if anyone can confirm, we'd love to know in the comments what if there's like a tradition
I
behind
suppose
that.
with
Whatever.
fasting, it's quite a sugary, sweet. It could be a good thing to break the fast with.
Seems a bit specific though, because like any high sugar drink would do the same thing, right? I feel like there's something more to it. We'd love to know, right?
It is illegal, by the way, to eat chicken with a knife and fork.
I knew that.
In Georgia.
3 out of 3, sucker.
As soon as you win?
Yeah, I think Adam wins.
What time are we on?
We're an hour and 5.
What a remarkable podcast. Believe it or not, we've actually got a lot more left on. We've overproduced this podcast. So we're going to have to cut this one there and we'll move it over to the Patreon for the last bit. We're going to have to.
We're gonna have to. I'm not saying that you can't do that. So yeah, if there are people that pay for this fucking catastrophe, this omni shambles, then get on over to the Patreon. It'll be worth it, I'm sure. Look, I still got loads of energy. It's because I ate fuckloads yesterday. Fucking ready for it, mate. I'm ready for that fight we're having out later as well. Come on, man.
All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Peace.